Hey everybody, it's Kitty K here again, and I'm bringing you something special um, for mainly the Resident Evil fans. I'm a big fan of Resident Evil. Here you got all my merchandise of Resident Evil. Um, I'm a big fan of the original first three games, part 1, 2, and 3, and the first two remakes from one and the second one. I mean, the second one basically I crap my pants. That was so scary. Third one was sort of a cool graphics, cool CGI scenes. It was more of a just follow the lines and you're gonna get there. While the second one was more RPG like, survival horror like. And my favorite video game is PlayStation 1 Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, and Final Fantasy 7 for PlayStation 1. Remember Final Fantasy 7 with the oh shit, I got all these. Look at that, the polygon figures. Remember that? those silly polygon figures. That was so cool. But in any case, I digress. I wanted to give you, this was a series, a TV series they made in 2022. A guy named Sean LeBert. Not a fan movie. No way, Jose. If not with real actors. Now, I couldn't find the names of the actors. I don't really knew the actors, but they used real actors. They used a budget to introduce to a studio. There's a big studio to get funded to make a season one of this called arklay. Now, of course, like I said, you kind of need to be a Resident Evil fan to know what arklay first of all means. And there's a character in the short film, and you can find it on YouTube. Now, I can put the link in there. I think that wouldn't be a problem. Um, because there's, for example, arklay is the name of the Arklay Mountains, an area that's full of mountains and forests that surrounds Raccoon City. And that's where all the shit start to happen because there's a mansion there in the middle of the secluded area of the desolate area of the Arklay Mountains that is from the Umbrella Corporation making this T virus, and a few of these critters uh, came. I think the dogs, they escaped and they started to kill hitchhikers. They started to kill people who had houses there, and this is, for example, one of those instances. So we're following a detective. Sorry, I forgot his name, but there are not a lot of characters. We see a detective, two detectives, a woman, a female, and a man. The man detective looks like he's depressed, takes pills, he's a kind of a shell of a man. And we see, if that's again for the connoisseurs of Resident Evil, Sergeant Marvin Branagh, the guy from Resident Evil 2 who was bitten by, I think, Brad Vickers, the Stars team member. He is there as a backup, and yeah, looks like him. Black guy looks like him. It's cool. It's cool. This little stupid series, this little short film, gave me more pleasure and I was more engaged in than any of the Paul W. Anderson movies and the fucking retarded Welcome to fucking Raccoon fucking City. And I'm gonna review that one, and it's gonna be a rant. So watch out for people who don't want rants. But listen, this series. So what happens? I'm gonna spoil this. It's like 12 minutes long. Yeah. So the detective arrives. Now apparently there's this mansion, and in the Arklay, but there have been murders surrounding the Arklay Mountains. Now we are introduced to a character, a detective, who's following up the cases with another detective, a female detective. Detective, sorry, detective, blah, blah, blah. And he arrives there, but it's his brother who apparently, called Dave, killed himself. Now, what happened is he shot himself like this, so the bullet basically just blow his jaw away and went through his nose and shit, and this entire piece was completely blown away by the bullet. He's dead. Now, he's of course, he's it didn't have a good relationship, it seemed like, with Dave, but it was his brother. So he's going outside to take a cigarette, and you know, taking some pills, popping some pills. He's frustrated, and he's standing on a porch, on a deck or something, and there's this barbecue. Opens this barbecue, and he sees like this little disc with the umbrella logo on, and he's seeing that, and this, of course, would start the events of there's some kind of cover up happening, right? Then the creepy part begins. So I've got the pictures. I'll put the pictures here, and so you can kind of, you know, walk with me through the short film. He sees somebody. So the body of Dave is lying in the den, right? Then he sees somebody in the den, standing in the den. Then he sees his partner, but his partner is at the first floor calling with, I think, the chief or somebody else, colleagues. And Marvin Branna, Sergeant Branna, is calling for backup and paramedics outside. So he sees him going outside, he sees her above, and he thinks, what the fuck? He goes in, gun out of his pocket, he signals to his partner, like, then he go in, and what we see is one of the freakiest, coolest zombies you can ever have. So he was infected with the T virus. That's why he tried to kill himself, but he didn't do it right. He didn't do it like this, but he did it like this. So we see this epic, cool, practical effect made zombie, and we could have had that. That was the story. That was creepy. The fact that he was like standing there and he sees somebody in the den, and you see her above, the detective, the other detective. The first floor calling, and you see Marvin going outside the door to his patrol car. I mean, that was creepy as fuck. And then the zombie looked creepy as fuck. I mean, this was a great concept, and they fucked it up. They fucked it up. I don't understand. This could have been a season 1 with an introduction of the stars team members and the people from from Raccoon City, like Kendo and Chief Irons, and like I said, the Stars team members, Wesker talking with Birkin and shit like that. Everything leading up to that situation that the first team, the Bravo team of Stars, goes to the mansion because the kills are going out of control. But we're following this detective also as a sort of new character. But it would be in the RPD stage. And they had Marvin Branagh already as a character who we know from the game. So they were already truthful to that. So it's such a shame. It's such a shame, and they get. I'll put the text on. You know, the from Google AI. They put the text and the why it was cancelled, and that studios basically just didn't want to fund it, but they did want to fund like Paul W. Anderson movies because of his name probably, and then the Welcome to Raccoon City, whatever that monstrosity was, they wanted to fund that too. But this, really going to the roots of Resident Evil, Arklay Mountains, the Sergeant Marvin Branagh, and who knows how many, you know, regulars of the game. Fuck you, they say. Fuck you. An asshole right here. Yeah. So that was this is a short film that I wanted to make, but I'll put the you'll see in the pictures. It's really cool. It's engaging. It's that creepy stuff. It's dark, man. It's dark outside or in the arklays. You hear the dogs in the distance. Oh, the Cerberus dogs. You know, it's just fucking creepy. And okay, I'll put the link in there. You can, if you've never seen this, this again is no fan movie. Is no fan movie. This is a funded short film that was presented to a legit studio. Okay, so leave a comment, leave a like if you like this damn video, and subscribe. It's free for good content. See you next time.